Welcome to Give Social, a show helping you improve through inspiration. Each week, we discuss the things that make your heart sing through stories, interviews, and debate. Every day, normal people do amazing things in business, charity, or through self-improvement. And we are here to help celebrate that. My name's Rob.
And I'm Jen. So if you're looking for authentic, down-to-earth and practical help to build a better life, then we welcome you to the show. And just to make sure you never miss an episode or one of our bonus podcasts that we might sneak in from time to time, don't forget to subscribe through your preferred podcast provider. It's easy and, more importantly, it's free.
Now, let's get on with today's show. Okay, well, here we are, our first ever podcast episode. I think the first question needs to be, how are you feeling?
Rather odd.
It is.
It feels very weird sat in our dining room at either end with a microphone that isn't normally here when we're having dinner or breakfast or whatever else it is, and just talking with headsets on.
I am very far away from you, aren't I?
Yeah.
This is
big table.
This is the joy of trying to set up a podcast studio in your own home.
We'll get in there.
Yeah, so welcome along. Let's introduce ourselves properly. My name's Rob. I am married to the beautiful
Jenna.
And we are the Flanagans.
Team Flanagan.
Team Flanagans, some people like to call us. So we want to use this first episode to let you get to know us a little bit better. Find out some more about what we do, why we're here doing this podcast in our home. But we're also going to make sure that you know what's in it for you. So where do we start?
Well, we both met when we were still quite young, I think.
You were younger than me.
I was only 20. And so we've grown and come through loads since then. And now we're at the point where we have learned so much, and we've met and worked with some amazing people. We want to do something meaningful with all of that. And of course, this period of lockdown has helped us, I think, you might disagree, but I think it's helped us appreciate being at home together, and that working together is something that we really enjoy. Good, correct answer. So, I mean, we're going to explore the COVID-19 pandemic in more detail in another episode coming soon. But essentially, our experiences through all of this have been the final catalyst for us launching Give Social and finding new and innovative ways to engage with people.
The thing I love about this is that this is something that we've built together. We've built this thing for many years. It's not something we've just decided to do during COVID. It's been coming for probably the last 10, 11 years, I would say.
Yeah.
What I really like about the podcast, if anybody who knows us will know, I come up with loads of ideas.
Many ideas.
All the time. And 90% of them you don't agree with. But what I love about this is that this was kind of your idea. You and I came up with this together. We developed it through lockdown, I suppose. We were listening to podcasts ourselves, but we ultimately were trying to find a way that would help us bring forward the work that we're already doing with lots of people. I heard something over the last few weeks all about how you can't build something special without a collective passion for a common purpose. And that really stuck with me, and we discussed that quite a bit. And that was perfect for what we were trying to do with this podcast. It really helped us focus on our mission to bring people together and to help them be more inspired, more confident, and better equipped to move forward in their own lives. And also with one simple goal, and that goal is to live a life where giving, sharing, and supporting others defines our success. Now, that sounds like I'm reading it because I am reading it. I'm reading it because it's something that we remind ourselves of. And hopefully, as we go through this episode, as we go through all the other episodes that we're doing, talk a little bit more about our work and the people that we've met and the people that inspire us, it will come through that really is what we believe. So what about our working background? We both lead on national projects. We're both in full-time jobs. We come together outside of those jobs to deliver Give Social.
Work outside of work.
Our work outside of work, yes. And we use that to grow some people call it a side hustle, don't they?
Some people do.
I don't like that term.
It's not my favourite.
But yeah, so we have a business outside of our everyday 9-to-5 job. What we found with that was always that challenge between balancing 2 jobs, balancing being parents of a now 6-year-old child, but also being there when people needed us. And what we've seen during COVID particularly has been a huge increase in appetite for people to meet digitally and in different ways. And one of the ways in which we've been doing that is we've been meeting with charity trustees, bringing them together. And we've really seen the effectiveness of new technology and how we're using it in the modern world. And this is what got us thinking about, as we go forward, how do we continue to help other people? We felt that podcasting was one way with which we could try and do that. People can be turned off by research, by academic writing, by all of these things that really don't make much sense to anybody unless you're in the weeds of it and really understand what a academic means when they say something. So one of the things that I really want to bring out in this is where we do find what the evidence says, and we do find some great bits of research that we think is really interesting, but ultimately we can hopefully tell people in a down-to-earth way what it means, and you don't have to be a PhD to understand it.
Yeah. I'm definitely not a PhD. So if I understand it, then hopefully we can translate that for people and it'll make sense.
Yeah. We've built Give Social on the side to allow us to grow the work that we've done because we love it. We have a real passion for working together, helping other people, being successful in more than one way. And this allows us to do that.
Yeah, agreed.
And so one of the things that we've had to do is get really creative around how we've been engaging with charity trustees, individuals who we would normally say, let's go and grab a brew. Let's go and meet in that hotel reception on Saturday morning and have a conversation about where we go next. And we can't do that. So what we've been doing is we've been turning to Zoom, Office 365, WebEx, phone calls. And one of the things that we've really found with that is that there are so many other things that we can do whereby we don't have to physically be there.
The reason I chuckled then was because it occurred to me that it was the other week and I actually had to dial in on the phone to a meeting. And even though it's only been a few weeks where Zoom and 365 have been the norm, actually dialing in on a phone felt really old fashioned. So it had only been a few weeks and we've got so used to the new way of doing stuff. Dialing in a number and speaking to somebody and actually not being able to see the faces and not being able to get any of those cues was really, really hard. And it just made me think about how quickly you can get used to a new working with people.
I can't remember the last time I rang somebody at work.
No.
I just don't do it. I either send them a message on Skype or I'll just put a video call in and we'll just have a chat. And I've been wearing some crazy things.
It's handy when you've got 6-year-olds dressing up box to get inspiration from doing a Zoom call.
Yes, I was actually talking about wearing T-shirts, but no, you're right. I have.
You were Batman for a while, weren't you?
I was Batman, yes. I was Batman, I was a pirate. Yeah. But anyway, we'll talk all about all of that in our next episode when we really focus on COVID-19 and the lockdown. But this effectiveness in new technology really opened our eyes up to what else can we do to start engaging with the people that we know that really inspire us and that we think are brilliant. And we also think other people should hear their story. Yeah. More importantly, it's the main thing that we're trying to get out of all of this. And then ultimately, how can we continue to build that network of people who do inspire us? And this is about lots of different types of people. We're not just talking about those, and there are those who do some fantastic work for charity. We're going to be speaking to at least one or two of them in the next few weeks. Yes. We've already got them lined up. So there are those people. There are those people who do brilliant work for charity. Some of them absolutely amaze me every day on how they live their own lives that are often quite challenging. They have their own things to deal with. Yeah. Yet they find that time just to go out and make other people's lives even better.
And channel their energies into something that they feel is worthwhile and Other people might find different ways to channel their energies, but this is just
Yes.
one way that's just something is, I don't know, it just fits with our purpose, doesn't it? And we just find it really inspirational.
Yeah, and then there are other people who have been through horrible things, and then they continue to be amazing people and use that energy, and they turn it into something fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're going to be speaking to some of those. There are those people that just have a passion for something so much that they dedicate their life to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes that isn't about charities.
No.
It's about wanting to be something, wanting to deliver and help people or give people something.
It's meaning and purpose, isn't it? So people have been, some of the people that we'll talk to have found a way to work or earn money, whether it be a little bit or a lot of money, just from something that gives them meaning, something that they really believe in, that they're passionate about, and they found a way to make that their full-time job.
But then there's lots of other things that we're going to be chatting about, just me and you. So sessions like this, where we might just pick a topic and start talking about it. And sometimes we'll agree.
Yeah. And sometimes we won't.
That is very true. You will probably highlight my many flaws.
And vice versa.
Along the way. And that's because we've been through a lot together. We've been together for over 15 years.
Yes, 16 years. That is indeed over 15 years, yes.
Little tip. If you forget, just pick the number you know exists. And then
the nearest number.
And then say over.
Or almost.
So we've been together for 16 years. Married for over 9. And during that time, we have learnt a hell of a lot about each other. Haven't we?
Yes, we have.
And so we thought it would be fun to have a bit of a feature that we call a couple of opinions, where every now and again we'll just come together and talk about a subject that maybe we don't always agree on. Or maybe it's something that we do agree on.
Yeah.
We'll just...
Or maybe we don't know, and we'll only find out when we start talking about it, whether we agree on it or not.
Yes. And it might be, as we go forward, people on our Facebook group might choose what we talk about.
Okay, yeah.
That was news to Jenna.
It's new information. But I like it.
We're not going to sit here and talk about politics.
Nope.
If you're expecting us to discuss the whys and wherefores of decisions by government officials, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this podcast is not for you. However, we are going to have some fun along the way, and we really hope that you are going to join us for the foreseeable future. We are going to bring out a show every week.
Yeah.
I think the next question, Jenna, has to be why the name Give Social.
Well, I think while we've both got faith, this isn't a religious intention, it's just a personal choice about the way we live our lives. Think about the word give. There's loads of different definitions of the word give. I'll do the Oxford Dictionary bit now. To freely transfer the possession of something to someone, to commit or to entrust, or to freely set aside or devote for a purpose.
You are definitely reading that off your computer.
Of course I am.
Excellent.
I would not have remembered those words in that order if they weren't written down. But the point is that we want to celebrate not only inspirational people, but how they've given their time, whether it be ideas or charity work, or whether it's just, ideas for the purpose of improving the lives of others or making something special for somebody else.
Yeah.
But we want to give to you too. Our new listeners.
Oh, I like it.
Which sounds really weird.
Segue.
And this is the thing, though, is that this is an opportunity for us to meet new people.
It is.
And this is a way of us engaging with a completely new audience that we would never have... Oh, go on.
I just need to make clear that we do have friends.
Oh, we do.
Yes.
We do have some real friends in real life. We're not very lonely.
We're not doing this show to meet new people. I'm now awaiting people sliding into my DMs.
GSOH. Okay, fine. That's not
We're not lonely.
No, we're not. We're fine. We've got lots of friends, and you're going to meet half of them anyway because we're going to
Yes.
interview lots of them because they're all wonderful people.
Yes.
No, but the point is that Winston Churchill.
Oh, here we
Said
go.
something.
It's another quote, everybody.
I'm going to read it. It's written down. And he said, "I'm not going to do a voice this time."
Go on, do your best Winston Churchill
I don't think
voice.
I can. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give.
Excellent. And the thing about that, giving,
Yep.
is that actually we give in loads of different ways. And this is not, like you said, about finance. It's not, it can be time, it can be lots of other things. But if you think about giving from a perspective of when it's your birthday, in fact, by the time this show goes out, it will have been your birthday.
Yes.
We're going to have a party. Yay.
Well, socially distanced party.
Yes, of course. We're going to have 6 people in
the
our
garden.
I'm going to call it a party.
Yes.
But more importantly, we will be giving you presents.
This is something is now recorded. So I have a
Someone
record of the fact that you said
Someone will give you a present. Someone will give you a present, a card,
Well done. Yes.
and they're gonna give their time to come and celebrate that with you. And that's the thing, is that actually giving is just whatever we can of ourselves to help somebody else, or to be with somebody else, or just to improve our own or somebody else's lives.
Yes.
Give Social has been a name that we have. Are we allowed to say own?
Don't know.
We have acquired the name Give Social for a few years, and we've been
Yeah.
looking for the right opportunity to do something with it.
There's been a few trigger points along the way, and we thought, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is
Yes.
the time. And then we've thought about it and said, does it feel right? And it hadn't so far. But this is where it did.
And every
Feel different.
single crazy idea I have
Many.
that comes down to helping other people, I think, oh, we could use Give Social for this. So right at the beginning of the global pandemic that we now know as COVID-19, we worked with a friend around whether we could help other people come together to help others in communities and to give socially to those. It was a great idea,
Yeah.
but everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
And so we thought, okay, we wait. We bring back our opportunities to use Give Social at the right time. And now, coming out of COVID, feels like the right time to start celebrating what all of these people have done
Yeah. Yeah.
in life generally,
Yeah.
but also what people do every single day. I want to talk a little bit about success. So, as you know, I am always striving for success, painfully trudging through life, thinking, what is this thing they call success? Have I seen it? Have I not?
Am I it?
No is the answer. And I'm sure many people feel the same way. I think more recently, one of the things that I've realized is that success is ultimately what you make of it yourself. And so whether it be in your personal life, in your professional life, success comes in lots and lots of different forms. And sometimes you've just got to stop and realize and reflect and understand that we're all successful in what we do. We are not successful in how others judge us.
Defining your own success, isn't it?
So we're here to help other people and help ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we're on this journey as well
What
with
was
other
that
people.
quote I saw the other day? And I think it said, we're a rough draft of the people we will become. Don't be afraid of the fact, and don't hide from the fact that you're growing all the time. You know, nothing's set in stone. You can change things. You can take control. You can, divert your attention into other areas. You can learn something new.
And while we're on the subject of giving, there is a certain element of self-satisfaction, if we can call it that. I know what it's called. It's called the giver's glow.
Oh, yeah.
It's called the giver's glow. I can't remember where it came from, but somebody once talked about it And it's something that happens in the brain. And when people give something of themselves to other people, they have this reaction in their brain that the brain recognizes this stimuli to a particular feeling in the body, and they call it the giver's glow. And so in a selfish way, I hope long term we'll have a giver's glow from doing this show. And it rhymes as well.
Yes.
But yeah. So this is all about celebrating life, celebrating people, and celebrating what we give to others. There is going to be lots and lots of issues that we deal with. Some of them are going to be quite hard. They might be hard for me or for you. They might be hard for the guests. They might be hard, and we understand fully that some of it might be hard for the listener.
Yeah.
But what we're not here to do is to give advice on a one-to-one basis.
No.
We are not medical experts.
No.
We are not neurological experts. We are on a journey ourselves to understand what makes us happy, what inspires us, and how can we celebrate people who try and help other people.
Yeah.
And we want to help people become more successful in themselves. So if there's any way in which we can do that through the show, we really look forward to doing that. Doing this show for us it's daunting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to pinch myself a little bit and go, why am I doing this?
If you've asked me a few weeks ago, I would never have said, oh yeah, I'll be sat at my dining room table recording a podcast. That wasn't, it just appeared as an idea, didn't it? It just... If
we're completely honest, I am probably sat here thinking, what will such a person think? Or what will my dad think?
Oh, I don't. I almost don't. I mean, if my parents do listen to it, hi. But also don't if you don't have to.
But the thing about this is confidence. We're both overcoming,
different aspects of confidence as well, I think.
Massively.
Yeah.
I love the saying that it's hard to lead a cavalry charge if you think you look funny on a horse. Because if you spend too much time thinking about what you're doing and how it might look to others, then you're never going to do something. And that's why we're just flying straight into this, and we're just going to get on with it.
Yeah. I read something and it said, I was sick of walking into a room wondering what people were going to think of me. So I've started walking into a room wondering what I'm going to think of them.
And the second part of this is social. So we've got the give. We've talked about give loads, so we'll not talk about that.
No.
But we've got the social aspects as well. And that's the most important part of this show for us. Is this is a place for us to meet and spend time with other people. And it was Carl Rogers who said, what is most personal is most universal. And we are going to have times when we are talking about some really personal things to other people and things that are personal to us. And there is an element of, I think it's, is it Brené Brown?
Yeah.
Brené Brown talks about vulnerability and
yes,
being able to talk about these things and the power of vulnerability.
But also there's an aspect of just being yourself. And so although you're talking about personal experience, that doesn't have to be something really deep and meaningful or, you know, something really heavy. That's just you talking about your own experiences as a human being of a particular event or something that's happened to you. So sometimes it will be more deep and meaningful, but actually lots of the time it's just personal experience. You're talking about you know, a human being, and that'll connect you. Other people, hopefully.
And you've talked about connection. We talk about connection with people that we work with all the time, because if you want to engage with somebody, you want to communicate and interact with them, you've got to have a connection with them. And the only way you get a connection with somebody is by being authentic, being yourself. And that's something I've struggled with over the years sometimes, because I walk into a room, like your quote, I can't remember what it was, but I walk into a room and I think, right, what am I going to be for all these people? Whereas now I'm sat behind a microphone, nobody can see me, and I can be whoever I want to be. But the hardest thing for me is I'm trying to be me. And that's a little bit more difficult, but it's good because hopefully this social aspect of our show will bring that out in me. It will bring it out in you.
You're very used to being Rob the performer,
yes,
aren't you? And so that's probably, without second guessing where you're coming from, that's probably the change now in direction, in that you are now you are a qualified person who is in a position with lots of experience to talk about lots of different things, and you've got to kind of separate that from you, like Rob the singer, for example, who was going in to prove a point to be the best singer that everybody in that room had ever heard.
I think one of my very early 2004 Twitter handles was at Rob the singer.
Yeah, that sounds like it was true. I think it was.
I could probably have one for every year of my life, couldn't I? Rob the golfer.
Yeah.
Check me out at Rob the golfer, at Rob the singer, at Rob the policeman, at.
Just so many. We could do a whole show about that.
But that's always but that's always come easy to me, hasn't it?
Yes.
That whole be whoever I want to be type stuff. And what I really love about this is that you're here with me, and you're just being Jenna.
I'm normally behind you.
Yes.
Going, yeah, go on, go and do it. But now I'm actually doing it. You're pulling me out of the background.
Yes.
I'm the behind the scenes person normally. This is totally not my comfort zone. I'm enjoying it.
Yes.
But it's not my comfort zone. But I think that's part, and again, we'll talk about all these various things as we go through. But I think what I've learned over the past couple of years is that on the occasions where I have pushed myself into something that is something I've either not done before, or is something that frightens me a little bit or makes me nervous or whatever it might be, once I've done it, I feel so much better. It's like when you're on holiday and the pool's cold and you don't want to get in. But once you're in, it's fine.
Good analogy, Jen.
Did it come round okay?
Oh, that was
it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And you can see where I get my confidence from when I get such fantastic support from my loving husband.
I get it. I completely get it. It's like getting in the cold pool on holiday.
Yes. It's a nice place to be.
Yes.
Essentially.
Maybe we'll change the name of the podcast. I think we're probably at the end of the first show. I think we've covered what we intended to, which was to give a little bit of explanation of who we are, about why we're here, about the name Give Social.
Yeah.
And ultimately what people are going to expect from the show.
Yeah. And hopefully giving a bit more about us in our own way.
Yes. I just want to ask before we finish, actually, Jem, about, you said something before, and you said in our own voice.
Yeah.
I know what you mean by that, because we've had loads of conversations over the last few months about this, about delivering something in our own voice. What does that mean to you?
Well, to me, it's, even though I've been the behind the scenes person, there have obviously been occasions in various aspects of my life where I have been the face of something or given a presentation or, whatever it may be. And I think we're so used to representing other people and speaking other people's missions and values and all of those things, which we really, we very strongly believe and align with, because we wouldn't do the jobs if we didn't. But it's having the time and the space now to talk as Jen, as Rob, not as Jen from wherever, Rob from wherever.
Yes.
Or that's what I'm...
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point to kind of close on, really.
This is us talking in our own voice about things that we're passionate about, which hopefully will benefit others.
I like it. And so it's time for us to finish for today. But we will see you again next week, where we'll be diving into the impact of COVID-19 and lockdown and the impact that it's had on us. We have got loads of guests lined up, and we're really looking forward to bringing them to you. And as we're coming out of lockdown, we're able to go and actually sit in a room with some of these people and chat to them. And we want to make sure that they are the best conversations possible. So we're going to be doing that over the next few weeks. But the next episode is going to be another one with just me and Jen chatting through COVID-19 itself. And we're going to be looking at the good, the bad, the ugly. So please join us for a fun look back on what has been a crazy few months behind us.
But before then, you can join us on our Facebook group, Give Social, or head on over to the website, givesocial.co.uk. We've got some really special things lined up for subscribers and Facebook followers. We've got giveaways, guides, and free tips. So don't miss out. Get over there and check it out.
So we'll see you all next week for more Give Social. But for now, it's bye-bye.